Welcome to Fire Engineering with today's video blog. I'm PJ Norwood. I'd like to take some of your time today to discuss fireground injuries and line of duty deaths and a contributing factor to those injuries and some of those deaths. Last year in 2012 we lost 83 firefighters, with 28 of those firefighters taking place while engaged in fireground operations. Now this is not scientific. I have not gone through and digested each and every report of those 28 firefighter line of duty deaths. But based on my experience, my fireground knowledge, there is one item that contributes to many of these fireground injuries, especially when we start looking at entrapments and maydays. There's an underutilized tool within the fire service that there's no excuse that we don't deploy on every single fire that we respond to: the ground ladder. The ground ladder is an underutilized tool. If I'm running an incident and one of my firefighters is lost or trapped and finds a window on the interior of a building, he or she should have no hesitation in a hostile environment to be able to come out that window and know that there is a ground ladder properly placed at the windowsill of that window. We should not have firefighters reluctant to bail out of hostile environments when it's absolutely necessary. So how do we accomplish this? How do we accomplish throwing a ground ladder to every window, to every side of every building? Now many of you are going to say, we don't have the staffing for that. We just don't have the personnel. Well, we can't use staffing as an excuse for everything. We are definitely understaffed. We have plenty of departments that are undermanned as well. However, they still get it done. We should not be engaging in interior fireground operations without a RIT team in place, without following the laws of 2 in, 2 out. Remember, those RIT team members could take on fireground activities as long as that activity could be abandoned immediately if the RIT team needs to go into action. Have your RIT team members throw those ground ladders. If you're second due, you're third due, if you're on deck at the command post waiting for an assignment from the incident commander, you should be grabbing ground ladders and bringing them with you, even if you dropped them on the front lawn and left them there. If a firefighter appears at the window of the second floor and a ground ladder is on the ground in front of that building, it's a lot quicker to get that ladder up to that window than trying to go to a piece of apparatus and remove it and throw it to the window at that point. There should be no firefighter operating on the fireground today that cannot throw a 24-foot ground ladder by themselves. Solid training, practice, education, and getting out of the firehouse and preparing to throw that ground ladder in the time of emergency by yourself. Yes, it's achievable. Yes, it's something you can accomplish, but you're not going to accomplish it from sitting in the firehouse. You have to have a ground ladder to every window, to every side of the building. And while we're on the topic of ground ladders, roof operations. No roof operation should ever take place without 2 means of egress. Period. End of story. There's plenty of videos. Go to YouTube, just look around for a little while, of the many fires of firefighters taking vertical ventilation operations and tactics, putting those tactics into place, and their means of egress being cut off because they only had one means of egress. Again, no excuse. We got the ground ladders. We need to use them. So I want to hear from you today. How do you accomplish throwing ladders to every building that you go to? Throwing those ground ladders on every side of the building, to every window, and two ladders to every roof. Not an easy task. But I want to know, how do you accomplish it in your department? Let's start this conversation. Let's see what each other does so we can learn from each other as we move forward to make the fireground a safer environment for all of us. Thank you for listening. I'm PJ Norwood of Fire Engineering in today's video blog.